What up, good people? Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I can't believe it that 14 days, 14 days from today, right now, the Dallas Cowboys will have their first round draft pick. That is, unless they move back. Yeah, the NFL draft, 2 weeks from today. We will be in Kansas City. Kansas City, here we come. Yeah, me and GMV and Game Time, Prime Time, and David Wiley, too, are going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here we come. And I can't wait. I have been, forgive me, I have been busting a hump trying to get as much work done and out of the way as I can before the trip because, when you're self employed, you don't work, you don't get paid. So we're working on trying to get the red brick house as far along as we can before I go because we'll be leaving Wednesday, won't be back till Sunday, and I'm still trying to get that place done, at least occupancy for it by Memorial Weekend, so I don't have much time left here. But we're getting closer and closer on that. Here's the thing that's kind of interesting, and sometimes you have to break the mold. I find it funny because so many people are always like, you go by the draft ratings and things like that. It's good that the Cowboys actually don't follow along with the draft ratings because a lot of times they're wrong. Many times. You know how many times we have the Cowboys draft and they'll say, oh, the Cowboys draft, that's a C minus. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, I remember listening to Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, basically saying drafting Tyler Smith. He's a penalty magnet. He had more penalties than anybody in college. He's coming to the Cowboys. He's going to have like 50 penalties. You could have got him in the third round. Okay. But, he was one of the best rookie tackles this past year. Good thing the Cowboys didn't listen to those guys. People question Michael Parsons. He's got off-field issues. I don't know about that. Hell, I remember him killing the Cowboys for taking a center with the first-round pick in Travis Frederick. That they literally traded with the 49ers to move back. Got a third-round pick and ended up getting Terrence Williams. Yeah. So it's great to listen to all the draft shows and all the content and everything else and so on and say, here's what you got to do. You should move up and take this quarterback. You know how many quarterbacks have been bust every year in the first round? A lot. A lot. Look at the draft from 2 years ago. Trevor Lawrence is the only good one from that whole draft. And there were 4 taken in the top 10. Or no, sorry, top 25. Mac Jones was, I think, 25 by New England. But the rest of those guys, stiffs all over. So here's what I like about what the Cowboys are doing. And I'll be the first to say, I don't watch college football. I just don't have the time in my life to be able to. And I do want to stay married as well. Because the amount of time I devote to the Dallas Cowboys and trying to keep up with the news, that in itself is a full-time job. I spend Friday and Saturday getting ready for game day Sunday, if you know what I mean. And if I were to vote, because when I do something, I do it all the way, as you can see. If I'm going to cover the Cowboys news, I'm getting it to you. People will talk about, you do 15 videos a day. Well, there's 15 different things happening about the Cowboys, and so I'm bringing it to you. And the same thing can be said about, like, me working on this red brick house. We started there at 8:30 this morning, and I stopped about 8:30 tonight working on it. And that's the way I do things. But here's what I like about the Cowboys have done this offseason. And it hasn't been much drama to talk about, which is actually a good thing. The people that they've been bringing in, you see already that there seems to be a plan. And if you're listening to, say, Todd Archer, this is Todd Archer's belief. And one other thing you can also say, too, is the Cowboys like to get to know the guys that they draft. And typically they like to have guys that they have brought in for the 30-day visits to see, their eyes wide open, the reaction to the facilities. If it's just about, money, or if they really want to be a Dallas Cowboy player and so on. But here's something that's interesting where Todd Archer believes that the Cowboys could draft a tight end in the first round. For me, here's what I've said a couple of things. I know I'm not, I didn't go to journalism school. I don't work for ESPN or any magazine or anything like that. But this is just my own personal opinion and belief. Tight end is damn important. Tight end, if you look at the teams that are always there in the end, they always have great tight ends. You think about all those years with Gronk and Tom Brady. And I dare say that this year, without Gronk and having a great tight end, really was the difference for Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. I look at, Dallas Goedert with the Eagles. You look at Travis Kelce, of course, with Kansas City, two-time Super Bowl winner. George, what's his name? It looked like he's grunge with San Francisco. You see that tight end is as valuable as a great wide receiver.
The best tight ends are drafted in the second round.
Yeah, but
Second round.
because for a couple of reasons. Because if you have a great tight end who can block and can catch, then you have to worry about, is it a run or is it a pass? And if you have a great tight end who can be that security blanket, remember when we used to talk about that? Jay Novacek, the term came about with Troy Aikman. Yeah. Tight ends are really, really important. Now, a lot of people say, hey, we got the Bruise Brothers, in Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot, and they're good. But I don't. And they'll probably be better the second year. But if you have a chance to really upgrade, for me, I love my 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets, because again, 2 tight end sets. If you have a great pass catching tight end, you can go heavy running, right? Because you got 2 extra blockers. You got 7 guys that can block. If they stack the box because you got 7 blockers there, you can use them as receivers. You can take Tony Pollard out the backfield and put him out wide. You can use your 2 tight ends as receivers. So you got a 12 personnel, which typically is a running formation. You got 5 guys that can catch the football. It's 5 wides. And if you got a guy who's 6'8", like Darnell Washington, man, you got something there. So Todd Archer, Washington won back-to-back national titles during his 2 seasons at Georgia. He had 28 catches for 454 yards and 2 TDs on his way to his second national championship. And also Tucker Kraft is coming off a national championship that helped South Dakota State to win the FCS level. 27 catches for 348 yards. Now, the thing is they'll say, you don't draft a tight end in the first round. Well, I understand that. But the thing about the Cowboys also they like to get the number 1 prospect at a position wherever they draft. Tight end, you would definitely get the number 1 prospect without a doubt, because tight ends, unless it's a Kyle Pitts who has not actually shown a whole lot, that could be the deal. But I'm okay if you're looking at whether it's wide receiver, whether it's tight end or cornerback or defensive line. I like the guys that they brought in position-wise. It's like they're looking for substance more than sizzle. And as you can see, I'm yawning here because I'm tired. I'm real tired. And I got another day's worth of work to do tomorrow before we head up the road. We'll be doing our live stream tomorrow night from my home as opposed to my mother-in-law's house. That's right. I'm broadcasting from my mother-in-law's house. Not my mother's basement, but my mother-in-law's house. Anyway, remember, good people, tell the people you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. Peace.